Hi, everyone. Welcome back to Pedagogy Non Grata. In this video, I wanted to talk about phonemic awareness instruction. As with a lot of articles that have come out around this topic recently, I've noticed there seems to be a lot of misinformation and misnomers on the topic. So this is my perception and understanding of the phonemic awareness debate as a teacher. So what is phonemic awareness? Well, there are many different definitions for phonemic awareness, but the most common one is the ability to identify and manipulate sounds or phonemes and words. And I want to just clarify that the definitions I'm using in today's topic and discussion come from my glossary of reading terms that I wrote with a large number of scholars. I felt it was necessary to create a glossary because there seems to be a lot of confusion over different terms, and terms aren't always used in the same way. We got together and we wrote these definitions trying to use what we saw as the most common consensus on each individual term. In terms of phonemic awareness instruction, there are 4 different drills that are commonly used, and those are blending, segmenting, deletion, and manipulation. Many refer to the latter 2 drills as advanced phonemic awareness. This term originates from Dr. Kilpatrick. However, he's simply or recently rescinded his use of the term because he meant it as a state of ability, not as a type of instruction, whereas most people seem to have understood it as a form of instruction. So blending is a phonemic awareness drill in which a teacher says a segmented word and a student identifies the word. So an example, the, ah, and then the student would hopefully identify that word as bath. Blending can also be used to refer to the process by which students decode and slowly say the sound within an unfamiliar word to identify it in a text. Segmenting is a phonemic awareness drill in which a teacher says a word and a student identifies the sound in it. An example, I might say the word bath and then hope my students can go, well. Manipulation is a phonemic awareness drill in which students add or replace a phoneme in a word. An example, if you change the d sound to a b sound in dog, you get bog. Deletion is a phonemic awareness drill in which students remove a phoneme from a word. An example, dog minus d equals og. Should I teach phonemic awareness? The answer to this is overwhelmingly yes, absolutely should. The following graph shows meta-analyses that have looked into the topic of phonemic awareness. All of them were identified by John Hattie in his database, with the exception of the National Reading Panel one, and they all show large effect sizes. For the record, there is one meta-analysis missing from this, and it's Florina 2024. I want to remind people that the meta-analysis is a study of studies, and usually those meta-analyses remove the lower quality studies. So what we show here is that on average, studies of phonemic awareness show large improvements in student learning outcomes. The National Reading Panel included as one of 5 topics they explored, and many have interpreted that to mean since that it is one of the 5 pillars of literacy instruction. And in fact, I agree with that analysis. So how best should I teach phonemic awareness? Well, the National Reading Panel 2000 found that the phonemic awareness instruction works best when it's taught with letters using segmenting and blending drills. Teaching manipulation or deletion drills improved phonemic awareness skills, but not reading or spelling. Teaching with letters was shown to produce over double the learning outcomes as teaching without. These findings were replicated by Redfield 2022, which did a meta-analysis on the phonemic awareness instruction for dyslexic students specifically. Similarly, another meta-analysis by Florina 2024 not only showed significantly larger outcomes for phonemic awareness instruction with letters, but the phonemic awareness instruction without letters that lasts longer than 30 minutes showed negative effect sizes for students. In other words, when students are given phonemic awareness instruction without letters for more than 30 hours, typically in studies, the students who receive no phonemic awareness instruction actually do better. I really want to draw attention to the Redfield 2022 meta-analysis because it was on dyslexic students. Many people ask the question, well, what about my students with dyslexia? Don't they need more oral-only phonemic awareness instruction than core instruction students do? And the answer to that overwhelmingly seems no, as we have studied this through meta-analysis research. So, but isn't phonemic awareness instruction with letters just phonics? Many people make this argument. Phonics construction can be defined as the relationship between phonemes and graphemes. Therefore, phonemic awareness instruction that includes letters is technically, and I say very technically, phonics. However, when most people refer to phonics, they're actually talking about synthetic phonics, which is the teaching of the relationship between individual sounds and letters, i.e., the SH grapheme makes the sound. Therefore, while students might infer from a blending drill what sounds that individual letters are making, the goal is still slightly different from a synthetic phonics lesson. In other words, while a blending drill with letters could be technically called a phonics drill, it does not cease to be a phonemic awareness drill. To quote Dr. Holly Lane, yes, it's phonics instruction, but it's also more effective phonemic awareness instruction. Dr. Linnea Erie specifically talked about this, and she was the lead author of the phonemic awareness and phonics section of the National Reading Panel report, the largest report ever done on reading instruction, at least to the best of my knowledge. She said that she regretted writing the phonemic awareness and phonics section as separate because it led to the belief that phonemic awareness taught orally should be viewed as its own pillar and it should be taught completely separately from phonics, whereas she has endorsed more of an integrated model and does not believe that phonemic awareness should be taught entirely separate from phonics. It's only a couple minutes. What's the harm? This is a question I also seem to get a lot. Well, aside from the fact that Florina 2024 showed that too much oral and phonemic awareness actually could cause harm, the same argument can be made almost any pseudoscientific practice, including 3-cueing. However, just like it is better to teach word identification with phonics than 3-cueing, it is better to teach phonemic awareness with letters than without. So what does this look like in a classroom? For a segmenting drill, write the word on the board, say it out loud, and have the students identify the sounds, still orally. So if you write down the word blue and say blue, you would hope they would go, ooh. For a blending drill, write the segmented word on the board, say the individual sounds, and then ask the student to identify the word. For example, ooh, and you would hope your students would say blue. And I'm going to apologize for my clipping, as I know some will be upset about my clipping. As a grade 8 teacher, I don't have as much daily practice at not clipping my students. So the focus should still be on sounds when segmenting. Make sure to read the word aloud, and when blending, make sure you pronounce every sound. However, students don't have to write down their answers. However, a meta-analysis by Graham 2010 did show large effects on reading outcomes for spelling instruction. So integrating spelling into the lesson is also likely a good idea. Therefore, as soon as students are cognitively ready to write their answers, I would get them to do so. And this is just to acknowledge that maybe your students at the beginning of pre-K are not ready in every classroom to write the words as you segment or blend them. However, as soon as they're ready to hold that pencil and actually write it, I would have them to do so. Now, you're always writing everything on the chalkboard anyways, so they don't have to have mastery of the English language and spelling to be able to follow along in their notebooks. I don't want you to just take my word on this. The majority of leading experts in this field have said the same thing. So here is a list of experts that I look up to and see as leading experts who have also stated that phonemic awareness should be taught with letters. Dr. Timothy Shanahan, the lead writer on the National Reading Panel, or sorry, one of the lead writers on the National Reading Panel. Dr. Linnea Erie, another lead writer on the National Reading Panel. Dr. Mark Seidenberg, Dr. Susan Brady, Dr. Devin Kearns, Dr. Matthew Burns, Dr. Holly Lane, Dr. Nathan Clemens, Dr. Florina Urbelli. These are all leading researchers in this area who have said the same thing I am saying. And here are my references in case you want to go read this research for yourself. That's it for now, folks, and until next time.